Oh yeah, 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 baby, we're live again. Akuma Snow will try to tune in. Already tuned in. At work he is. That's a rebellion, mate. No worries, everybody. If you can't tune in or follow here, these live streams, they end up in a playlist. You can watch them anytime you like. Akuma Snow says now I passed him in Road to Card Magic. Yeah. We're getting ahead of ourselves here, aren't we? So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna start this bitch? We got 5 current viewers. Who's in the house? Let me know. Guys, hit the keys. I'm getting ready here in a second. Sebastian Hensel is in the house. Hey Sebastian Hensel, that's great to see you. Let's do this, let's get started here. Let's get started. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Hey there everybody, what's up? My name is OTHMARIUS and welcome back to another Card Magic live jam session. Guys, what's up? We got Nairo Smith in the house. Welcome Nairo Smith, good to see you. We got Leaf Smiles in the house saying hi Leaf Smiles, what's up, how are you doing? And we got Idance 869, what's up mate? What's up? I'm telling you what's up. It's a lot of stuff going on here today. We are in the last chapter before the very last chapter of the freaking Royal Road to Card Magic, and I am super excited doing this with you guys. I went on the sucker on this chapter like a Bible student on the last day before the apocalypse, you know. I look at this, I just gave it, you know, I just gave it all I got, and I'm gonna share all my crisp, all my dank, all my wisdom with you guys. It's going to be pretty awesome. Now, before we get started, as usual, big thanks, big shout outs to the OTHManiacs. That's right, these are right now currently 11 folks supporting me with a pledge on Patreon, and those are the guys who are making everything happening here on YouTube. That's why I'm still rolling after a really crazy, really exhausting, really frustrating year on this platform. That's right. So guys, thanks a lot. And of course, everybody tuning in is very welcome. And thank you so much, everybody, for your support, for your comments, for your feedback. I really, really appreciate it. Now, before we get started here with today's chapter, I just wanted to I wanted to share with you that I made up my mind to break this down, respectively break this up, because we are confronted here with I believe altogether 4 routines, and I was thinking it might be really good to go into each and one of them pretty much in detail. So we're going to look at all of these routines in a single session, in a especially dedicated session in the following weeks. And today we are going to take an overview to look at the whole thing of routining, tricks, routining, magic performances in general, with all these tips and amazing insights Hugat and Broe are sharing with us or with the readers of this book in this very chapter. And of course, we are going to use this opportunity to recap all the important things we have learned so far on our journey on the Royal Road to Card Magic. What do you say about that, guys? So let me see what's up going on in the comments. Adams is at work too, but will listen when not watching. So kind of a podcast. No worries, buddy. And once again, you can anytime later on rewatch the whole thing. Just started with the book. That's great. That's a great choice. It's a really rich sauce, and for you and for everybody tuning in here newly, I've got all the sessions. We have been walking through the book chapter by chapter. I've got them all in a playlist. You will find the link to the playlist in the info cards, likewise other relevant links, and of course in the info box. Adens, Penn Gillette actually recommended starting here. He recommended starting here at OTHMARIUS Magic. No, I guess I believe I read the tweet. He did this on Twitter, right? Yeah, I got this. I saw this, and it's absolutely brilliant advice. It is a fantastic book to get started with card magic. The Magic Corner's in the house saying hello, hello Magic Corner, and then we got Evan back. Hello, Evan, probably now divorced. I hope you're doing well out there, mate. And so Adam's just started studying magic a couple of weeks ago, so then welcome, very welcome as a complete newbie, as a bloody beginner, as I'm always used to say, to the art form. It's a beautiful art form. It's an art form where different art forms and different skills fall together, come together. It's quite challenging actually, but if you walk your way step by step into the material, you will be able, actually pretty early, at a pretty early stage, to perform decent magic, and then to increase your repertoire, or to widen your repertoire, and also to level up your game with what kind of techniques you're using. So I got to turn the music a little bit down here on my headphones. Currently 13 people watching. Now, today or let me put it like this. I believe this chapter in the Royal Road to Card Magic, it's chapter it's 19, chapter 19, routines. It's just called routines. I would rather say routining tricks. So we are confronted here with 4 suggestions by Hogarth and Breuer, 4 routines. First routine, I didn't give it a name. Then the second routine they call how do they call it? They call it a table routine. We got a table routine, and then we got the good luck. No, that's a trick. We got a card discovery routine, and then we got dazzle routine, whatever that means. Now I haven't looked so much in detail into those routines itself, but I looked very closely at the tips Hogarth and Breuer are offering or sharing with us here in between those routines. And this is absolutely valuable stuff. And now, as you might know, when you are learning a card trick to get started, any kind of card trick, it usually comes up with a build-up, with a design of the trick. And then, whatever it is, there might be a certain specific technique, a sleight of hand move or something embedded in there. And of course, the first thing, before you actually get into performing the trick, you need to understand the whole design of the trick. You need to understand what's happening from the point of view of the onlookers. And then of course you need to get the stuff at your fingertips, right? So you are actually practicing on different levels. And now here kind of we up our game, so we are now already have the techniques at our fingertips, you know, and we already have some tricks at our fingertips, and now we put those tricks together to build a little tiny act, which Hogarth and Breuer call routines. Funny enough, it is pretty much the same thing as learning a trick, connecting several tricks to put them into, or to blend them into one performance. So in general, we are not doing the same thing. However, we are not doing a different thing than what we already did all the time. However, we kind of, you know, widen the perspective, because now we're not just learning a specific technique and then we try to get a trick working at our fingertips. Now we are in the mindset of really getting a little act down, so that we are enabled to perform a series of tricks in a row in a way so that it makes sense, so that it's presentable for your audience, and also that you are as a magician or as a performer, that you're not in the situation to think about what tricks are you going to do and how you put these tricks together. You do this in advance, and this is what Hogarth and Bray calling routining here in the Road to Card Magic. Beautiful about the whole I'm doing this again, I'm so sorry. Here we are. Beautiful about the way Hogarth and Bray do it here in the book is that they are basically sending us back into the past of our learning process. So because now they picked some tricks for us, they put them in an order, and they kind of give us some little tips and advice, and also explanation why they put those tricks into that certain order. And I believe, because this is something I didn't do myself when I first or for the second time really worked with the book, because I understand the principle here, and so I worked with the tricks. I decided, or I routined the tricks that I wanted to put into my repertoire instead of those tricks. But I believe it's a really awesome practice, and it's also a really valuable practice for myself to really go into this routine with the tricks Hogarth and Bray selected for us. And I want to do this in 4 more live stream series here. What do you say about that? Before we finish the whole thing with the last session, so we have if you take the 4 routines as single live stream episodes, and then the last chapter of the Road to Card Magic, we would end at Tuesday the 19th of November. And this is actually the last Tuesday I can do something on this channel, because then the Christmas market season starts, and I'm going to be on a Christmas fair selling artworks of my girlfriend pretty much every freaking day, so I won't be able to really do live streams. And we end this year basically on this channel with the Road to Card Magic, finished it from the beginning to the end. What do you say about that, guys? Isn't that great? So 4 Suited Kings is in the house, says I'm late, no worries. 4 Suited Kings, we didn't really get started here so far. Get a deck of cards out, everybody, and make the whole thing quality time for yourselves, right? So you are listening to what I'm saying, and watching what I'm doing here, and at the same time you're practicing your thing, whatever it is. You might even want to share this with us, what you're practicing right now, and then you make it quality time for yourselves. That's the back end you're seeing right now here. We got currently 10 folks watching. I just wanted to once again thank all my patrons, all my OTHMARIUS for supporting me. That's the Patreon side, guys. Check this out. I've got a little bit of explanation here, who I am and what I do, with a little introduction video. And also, if you want to meet the OTHMARIUS, if you want to chat after this live streams or in between, there is the Discord server. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Discord server with funny discussions, like sometimes people are just sharing their private things. The other day, Sebastian Hensel, is this Untitled Chapter? I forget who is Sebastian Hensel in here in the live stream. Asked, what does it? How do you say in German to square up a deck of cards? You know, squaring up a deck of cards. In Germany, you say egalisieren. Egalisieren. That's the term for squaring up a deck of cards. I had to look this up myself. I believe only card people use this word. So Discord channel, you will find the link for the Discord also in the info box. And I'm browsing here with the Brave browser, which is a super awesome and super fast browser. If you want to support my channel a little bit, and if you want to give a new web browser a chance, which is super fast, which comes with an inbuilt firewall and ad blocker. This you should give this a try. I'm surfing with this for over 1 year now, and I really love it. It's an affiliated link at the very bottom of the info box with a little explanation how this whole thing works. Download for free, test it for 30 days, and I get 5 rocks in a cryptocurrency called Basic Attention Token, which I immediately transfer to my favorite YouTube creators. Let's see who am I supporting right now here with this crypto wallet, which is built in also in the web browser. Let me check this out. Right now it's the royalty-free planet and Louis Rossmann. Maybe you guys know Louis Rossmann. He's a repair guy who repairs computer, and he just hit 1 million subscribers with absolutely a wonderful, serious, and yes, really awesome content. Anyway, so this is the back end of this browser, and of course I'm supporting the royalty-free planet. We're listening to the music by the royalty-free planet right now. Royalty-free planet collects royalty-free music on YouTube, and I'm always using this. Never got a copyright strike or claim using this music, and it's a very nice collection of the best royalty-free stuff out there. So I love supporting them with the Brave browser. That is just awesome. So that's that. To the back end, currently 12 folks watching. Let's go to the card table here, everybody. I got my tea. And by the way, you might have noticed I stopped smoking 2 weeks ago, got into vaping, and I haven't smoked a cigarette ever since, which is absolutely unbelievable. I never even missed a cigarette. Right now, I can't even imagine to light up another cigarette ever again, because this stuff tastes freaking amazing, and also is makes so much more dust. It's absolutely cool. Yes, baby. So, routining card tricks. Let's get into the lecture here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. That's also your job. You know, it's really important to activate your own brain. Just some things I underlined, I believe they're very important. If one relies solely on knowing a number of separate tricks, all too often one's mind goes blank after a trick or two before an audience. This is true even with advanced cardman. I just can, how do you say, this is true. I just can agree here. I know this from experience. I know a lot of tricks, and sometimes you get into a situation and somebody goes, oh, it shows a trick, and then you're like, it's like you don't know any trick at all. And I remember this even happening to me as a musician. I played guitar. I started playing guitar with 13 years or something, and I was, music was my life. Music was my passion throughout my whole teens and or 20s. And then you're there with a guitar and at a fireplace or something, and then somebody says, "Oh, play a tune," and it's like you can't remember any single tune, or just, I don't know, Stairway to Heaven or something. The half of it, the first lick or something, you know. It's true. Now this helps you a lot to routine, to put certain tricks together, and then you've got them as a whole set, and you memorize them as a whole set, and you will never have to think about what tricks you're going to perform. Of course, we're talking here right now about kind of a very improvised situation. Every stage guy, every professional magician just, you know, has it set all down, all routine, because you don't go on stage and just jazz around. But for us close-up guys and hobbyists and autodidacts and just nerds, you know, it's really, really important to routine some tricks. To avoid such disaster, the only plan is to arrange one's tricks in a certain sequence, so that having started with one trick, the rest follow automatically with no effort of memory whatever, right? Roughly, the plan should be to start with a good trick, one that arouses interest at the very beginning, continue with tricks the effects of which are on an ascending scale of interest, and finish with the strongest effect of the series. So we are building, we are advised here to build our routines in a manner that we have a strong start. It's something usually very quick, very visual, and then we just, you know, step back a little bit, we build up attention again, maybe working to a climax and finish it off with something cozy again. This is also shouldn't be new to anybody who's a little more into magic. I think it's really important here to just to bring this to attention. Just once again, it's not just one super flashy effect after another. You want to have a nice selection, and you want to build a certain climax there, so that something's happening also emotionally with your audience. Now, in using the word mastered in the first sentence of this chapter, we meant that the student has his tricks literally at his fingertips, and that he can do them at a moment's notice, anywhere, and with any pack that may be handed to him, right? So classy here. We are now not only having our slides at our fingertips, we are having the tricks we selected for our routine at our fingertips, and we can do them at any given moment with any given deck. That is what Hugard and Broe call mastered, and that is a really high scale, right? But yeah, that's what we got to do now. So shit's getting real, thumbnail rules. So what we got here in the comments, we got here the music is very relaxing. Nice. I hope you like it. Once again, it's the royalty-free planet, and I'm always using here the what is Synthwave playlist. Love it so much. Vernon Ursenbach is in the house. Vernon, welcome to the show. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you again. Today, in 1924, the German ZR-3 flies 5,000 miles, the furthest Zeppelin flight to date. Wow. Okay, a little history lesson here. Today, the longest flight of a Zeppelin. All right, now we know that. Thanks so much for sharing. I talk so fast. Yeah, that's crazy. But I feel like, yeah, maybe I slow down a bit. It's just like I want to share everything with you. I prepared so much. I know I gotta get it out, Yes, I'm smoking an e-cigarette. I also got a new one, a tiny one that's more like feels more like smoking a cigarette. Also very nice. It's also you can also utilize this as a magic wand, and also look at this. It's made out of rubber, although it's rock solid. Adam says, so far I've spent almost twice as much on cards as I've spent on books. Yeah, this might change eventually. If you're just getting started, of course, cards are the thing. By the way, I've got a video up and running on my channel. You find this on pretty much on the top of the channel page. Me talking about playing cards. If you want to know something about it. I got my favorite playing cards here. Got a deck of bees. Got a tally hose. The Kopecks. This is a more fancy deck, which is already rocked. What is this here? A Fulton's, Clip Joints, very nice deck. Also, got an Ask Alexander line around here. A lot of decks, but it will change. The more you get into Magic, and if you're not turning into a trick collector or a deck collector, and if you are a smart person, you will start spending much more money on books and on lecture DVDs, because they give the most for the value, right? So you gotta think about, buy a trick for $30 or 50, or buy a book for $30, and you got a lot of tricks in there and so much more explanation, and so on. You can perform magic with your vape using the flip stick vanish. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like this. Very nice. No, but this is the fog machine. This is crazy. This is absolutely bananas. Check this out, guys. It's like a disappearing trick. It's absolutely bananas. So. Really, really important advice here. Since we have to have our tricks at our fingertips, There's not fooling around here anymore. We are now entering a level where we're not just showing a trick like, oh, you know a trick? Yes, I know a trick. Oh, I know a trick too. No, you are entering the stage right then as a magician, as somebody who performs a whole set on people, even if it's just maybe 7 or 15 minutes. So you really have to have your tricks at your fingertips. So make up your mind at once that it is better to know a few tricks thoroughly than it is to have known several dozens. Old wisdom, old truth in magic. Know a certain repertoire. Make your choices. Know those things by heart. Learn those things by heart. Refine them. Master them. Get better at them. You know, polish them. Start with 3 tricks, with 5 tricks. Make a routine out of it. Nail the sucker. Build another routine. Nail the sucker and advance like this. Do not make the mistake jumping from one trick to another trick, even buying tricks, and always, you know, looking for this one is going to be my breakthrough. This is going to be my reputation maker. With this trick, I'm going to go out, and all it's going to happen is that you will have that you will spend a lot of money. You will have a lot of tricks on your desk, or in your cupboard, or on your cupboard, and you will have never been out there performing magic to people. Instead of taking just a couple of easy tricks, routining them, and then just going out there and do this stuff. It's different. It's a trap. It's one of the biggest trap. It's like so many fall into this one, and well, it's really hard to get out there, because once you got all the crazy good stuff there that you will never do, you know, why would you go back to the super easy things you've learned 10 years ago, right? Yes, nice. Now I'm jealous. Larry Jennings, Classic Magic. This is completely sold out, isn't it? Ha! But see what I got. I got a version of the Magic Way from Untitled. I looked so, and who was it? I got to look in the Discord here in Discord. Who are you? What I like you said. Who is this? Who are you? Crazy Challengers is not here today with us. We can't crazy because after the last session, I was I don't know why I said I got to get into the oil and water. This is one of those effects or tricks, and I know there are many different versions. I want to get into this one, but where to start and whatever. So a Crazy Challenger says Tamariz got a really good version on oil and water in the Magic Way, and I got one, and then I looked in this and this is not just one version. It is basically a whole study on the freaking effect. It is crazy. It is I don't know, almost I don't know, 100 pages and even more on oil and water, like classic oil and water, the history of oil and water, Tamariz's take on oil and water, the different technical aspects in there. Absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward going into this, right? And by the way, this is something now ahead, but this is how this works then later on. If you've made your first experiences with routining tricks, and you make your first experiences with performing your routines, and then you're refining your routines, polishing your routines, the understanding of what is happening there it's going to boost so much that you are going to get better and better and better in making sophisticated choices on what fits into your repertoire, what you want to do, and what you exclude. So you will become very picky in what you do, and then the whole study of magic becomes something really empowered. So you start to getting in charge of what you're actually doing, instead of, you know, just having stuff being thrown at you and you just try to work it out, you know, or work it off. Darwin Orwitz, yeah, I heard about. Yeah, I believe I saw this version. Perform Oil and Water by Darwin Ortiz. Yeah, well, there are many versions out there of this effect. Okay, now let's get back here to the big order. I see here, hey you, Shrine Clown. I just call you hey you right now because, or Clowny maybe. Next thing you know, you have more tricks in your underwear drawer than underwear. Yeah, exactly. And then you have to, you fix yourself underwear with playing cards and shit. I'm an aircraft mechanic and can build just about anything. That's amazing, man. Maybe one day you're going to build amazing, epic stage illusions. Who knows, you know? Aircraft mechanic, that's crazy. The bedroom, Deckhead is in the house? Yes, I wanted to. It is a collector's rarity by now, I wonder. Yeah, bedroom. So on sleight of hand it's called, I believe. Okay, guys. We are losing our shit here again. Let's go back to the card table. So a few tricks, right? A few tricks to master. And then we are getting right here into the first routine. So what are the tricks? Now, I'm not going into this routine. I'm not going to analyze this routine or any other routine. We're going to do this routine in detail next step. We have here topsy-turvy cards. Now you see it, the obliging aces, do as I do, card into pocket, and 3 cards across. This is already a powerful routine. Now, let me just give you a little insight on my first basic routine, what I like to do. I have a routine also that starts with the topsy-turvy cards. You know it, and I usually have the have a spectator shuffle the cards. And them observing the cards makes it so much better for everybody. I have them then select a card like this trick works, and I'm saying no, it's not all about one card, it's about all them cards, right? And then I do the little thing here, as it is in topsy-turvy cards. I have a situation where half of the deck face down, half of the deck face up, and it doesn't matter how many times I would turn the deck around because it is always the same situation, right? Except we're doing a little magic. We're taking a card from the pile face up, and this is where I added a little bonus in here. I do this invisible pawn. I say I'd add a little magic, and then I have this card and I turn it into pixie dust. Make this little card vanish. And I found out that this is this thing which makes a difference for me. This little card vanish, people enjoy very much. It gets this reaction. It's like, oh, oh, the card. I love it so much. And I say, and see what's happening with this magic. Look, all the cards reset themselves. Everything is now face down again. Now, it's very simple, easy to follow, a super good trick. Also, I like to start with this, although it's the first trick in the book, although it's a super easy trick, because it sets the premise so well. This is not somebody who's doing your Uncle Jim's card tricks or something like this, which, you know, I just turn the cards in the back or whatever and count down, and then I know this your card or whatever bullshit. No, this is the cards. Magic impacts the cards themselves. Magically, they turn it around again. A very powerful trick. And yes, of course, guys, this is simple as I just share this with you. You know the invisible palm, right? So you palm the card, and sometimes I show the people. I take the card like that, and then you, of course, you can have a cringe hand because then you see it, and then you do like this, and then wow, very simple, very simple. For layman, has a powerful effect, powerful impact. You're very welcome. So I've done this. It's the first trick. Now everybody knows this guy is, serious business, and here's something happening. And usually with with tipsy-turvy cards, you have when you're in a bar and there's people. I have this very often. People where somebody goes like, come, and he wants friends. They invite friends. Look at this shit. Something's happening, about to happen here. And this is just the perfect beginning. It is simple. It is fast. It is visual. Put some extra candy in there, maybe, if you can, a one-handed fan. By the way, I've built my channel in a manner so that everything is there on my channel page. You will find, and just let me show you this here for a second here on my channel page. Where's my channel page? OTHMARIUS MAGIC. You find everything here. I have playlists here, everything organized in playlists, and I have here a list that said all the moves tutorials. This is where you find everything you need on my channel page, if you want to. And of course, if you hit double combo subscribe and notification bell icon, you should be notified whenever I upload again. Back to the card table here. Very simple trick. Now, what I like to do then is to get into the Tipsy Trick. So now I have a spectator select a card, any card, the two of spades it is, and then I tell them the story. I say, guys, I use. No. What I tell them is that this is the first trick in the book that I just showed. It's a backup trick because it has a fundamental magic spell in there. Because sometimes when you perform for people, things can go sour. So I had them select the card, and now the premise is I want to show them what's happening. And I said to them, once I performed a magic trick, and I had the card lost in the deck, the two of spades, and then I shuffled the cards, right? And I said, wouldn't it be amazing now, after shuffling the cards, if I could find the card in the deck? And then, can't believe what happened, Arnold Schwarzenegger came along or something. I'm telling a story, something. Or a drunk guy came along. And Arnold Schwarzenegger now is pushing me. He said, you have to shuffle the cards even harder. And I say, okay, I can shuffle the cards harder. Here, let's do this with the Hindu shuffle, right? And I shuffle this with the Hindu shuffle. Arnie wants me to push them harder, so I shuffle them harder with an enhanced riffle shuffle. But Arnold is not satisfied. He takes the cards away from me and he shuffles them like Arnold. Like, oh, I have only Arnold seen shuffling cards, like up and down and up and down. And all the cards, they go to all kinds of places. And then Arnie gives me the cards back and says to me, now, magician, you snap now with your fingers and you make the card appear. And I said, Mr. Schwarzenegger, now look, I've got cards here in this deck. They are face down. I've got cards, they are face up. I've got cards, they are even back to back. What do you want me to do? Magic? And then, that's what I did. I just, I took my magic wand. I blew the magic dust on there, and see what's happening. All the cards reset themselves, except for one card here in the center. Can you believe? There's one card, and then I have spectator pull it out, and it's a two of spades. Ooh! Now this was a little bit shitty explained, but what I'm aiming here at is I'm telling just a story about. This is the first trick in the book. It's a backup magic spell because I once experienced that Arnold Schwarzenegger took the cards away from me, and I had to use the spell in order to find this card. That's all I wanted to say. That is my idea. That's how I spun those two tricks together, and it works very well. And this works very well. And then I have this Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. People love it very much when they go like, because they're only, and then now you have to shuffle the cards even harder. No, this is how I play this. So now I'm in my second trick. I showed basically two effects, and I gave meaning. I implemented into the minds of the spectators that this is real magic and not just card tricks. And I also performed some stupid impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is entertaining to people. Now, this is just my take on the whole thing. This is how I piece those two things together. And usually then, here at the end of this routine, I do a little ambitious card. I'm probably going to devote, because we have in the Road to Card Magic here, I believe a whole chapter. They just say here, the ambitious card as a whole routine, I believe. Or is it wrong? What do we got? No, we got that chapter Bibel. Yeah, and the ambitious card. In the Razzle Dazzle routine. I think we should talk about the ambitious card in one separate section. What do you think about that, guys? That makes absolutely sense, because there are the ambitious cards. There are very different ways you can perform this. There are many options out there, and I'd love to share with you guys the choices I made tackling the ambitious card. And we even got a whole ambitious card with a lot of shuffling in the Road to Card Magic, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the middle of the book. Crazy challengers in the house. Hey, crazy challengers, what's up? I do that triumph but face up, but I separate the reds and blacks while doing the sloppy shuffle, and then at the end I have the deck set for the out of this world stack. Yes, out of this world. I know it. That's very nice. This is a crazy challenger. This is already, you know, a little bit of advanced thing you're doing here. You are basically setting up the next trick within the performance of the one before, right? Very clever, very useful. This is also an aspect you have to consider building your routines, or this is something that comes along the way anyways. That you realize is that if you do a trick in a certain way, this closes doors for things you wanted to do afterwards, or this opens doors, and then sometimes you find ways to put these things together so this works, so that it works very well for you. And here's the thing, it's like this is kind of designing your routines in a way that it's always easy for your audience to follow. From the mindset of your audience, it's all one thing that goes through, and for you it is kind of a design so that you prepare everything you want to do in the future as soon as you can do it. So you're trying to, of course, getting ahead of your audience within a routine. And if you design the routine cleverly for yourselves, you are getting ready while you're performing the tricks right now. And then you're super easy and super loose when you go into the next thing. And another method getting ready or setting something up is, of course, using the breaks in between when you create a very strong or funny moment where people are laughing, and then they have to work it out. They have to let their emotions out, and they are talking with each other. They're showing each other. They have to share the moment. They share the experience. You can basically see this in every performance that goes well. People take a break from what's happening. They go like, "Oh, did you see this?" And then he did that. Well, how did he? And they start talking with each other. Some just can't stop laughing. You will have people sitting there, ha 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 ha, pissing their pants and stuff. And there's plenty of time to go. Now it's especially older magicians who are have a lot of experience with audience management on tables and stuff. When you see them, when you see a recording of them working, you have literally this moment where they're just like using this huge window of opportunity, setting it all up, or just bringing stuff out, putting stuff away, setting themselves up for the next table. And this is how it works, Let's take here an entrance. Let's take the entrance of a table routine. That's the second routine in this chapter. This routine is designed for use on occasions when an intimate group is being entertained at a table. Beforehand, have the 4 aces on top of the pack in its case and the case in your pocket for your first trick perform. So we're getting into this one. With our 4 aces on top of the deck, right? Just Shipmore's in the house saying, yo, what's up, man? 4 aces. Now keep in mind, Hugat Roe, they have designed these routines for beginners that are now stepping out of their comfort zone, more or less. I don't even have the 4 aces in this deck. That's crazy. Where's the 4th ace? Man, there is the 4th ace, right? So we have them on top of the deck. What I like to do, just to give you a hint here, if I want to start with a 4 ace routine, I have them usually second from the top. And I'm always starting with this. Look, guys, I got a nice deck of cards here. I just give those cards a nice, decent shuffle. That's all I do. And cut them cards to the table. Baby, here we go. And then, of course, a poker player's picnic. I have a whole tutorial series on the poker player picnic. You know the drill. The cards get cut. This is all what spectators do. They deal down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the empty spot, 1, 2, 3 on the card. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the empty spot, and we do this again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 at the empty spot. It's a very nice trick to get started at the table because you get your audience involved. Now they cut the cards, they deal the cards, and you explain it's a magic ritual, and at the end of the whole thing, you end up with the 4 aces on top of the deck. Boom! It is a freaking strong effect. You don't even need to shuffle them from the second from the top, second from the bottom to the top like I do. This is just what I do because I can do it. I have no worries about it. I like to bring the poker player's picnic in between. This is one of those in between tricks. But I do highly recommend the poker player's picnic as an opening trick at the table, or you can even wherever you have the situation, or at the bar. This is super powerful, and if you're a beginner and you just have them on top of the deck, you just do one simple false shuffle or false cut, you're done, and you go through there, and it blows people's layman's minds. Laymen are completely blown away from this. It's super easy, and it's beautiful now. And I'm looking forward walking through this routine here. Maybe we can do this because it's only 3 tricks in this routine. So we have now a poker puzzle. Okay, let's do this. Are you guys with me? Do you want to do this? Shall we go into this routine? Because this is where we end now. And this is now what are you going to do with this now? With this situation here. We have it. What are you going to do with this now? You got 4 aces on the table. Now, of course you keep on working with the aces, right? Of course, you got the aces there. Now I'm working very, very long now, practicing very, very long on a card appearance where you have the cards appear like this, and you have it. Then you can make four cards. You have 4 cards disappear, and you make 4 cards appear. I can't do this. I practiced this for very long. It is something from who is it? Jeff McBride. This is. I was always wondering myself, what is the maximum, the most powerful, the craziest ace thing you can do? There's a nice thing by John Bannon where you have the aces switch. 2 red aces turn into 2 black aces in the hand of a spectator and vice versa. So you have the card transformation in the hands, very nice. But now make those 4 aces disappear, and after that you bring in a card manipulation routine with having them disappear in thin air, and then they come one by one out of thin air. Very nice. That's my challenge. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm working on for a very long time now, and I'm still not there because this is just like this card manipulation stuff. This is just like, oh my god, you know, it's really crazy. Anyways, with the 4 aces on the table, you have your audience blown away. You can also do this with 4 kings. What are you going to do next? It's entirely up to you. So, a poker puzzle. I wrote it down. It's on page 129. Can you guys remember this one? Let's go. How does this trick work? I don't know this trick anymore. 29. A poker puzzle. Can you deal a good poker hand? Is a question which is almost certain to be asked after you have shown your powers with cards. The routine which follows has been arranged to convince the questioner that you can. Can I deal a good poker hand, you repeat? The answer to that is yes and no. I'd better show you what I mean. No doubt you've read articles on the methods used by the gamblers. Everyone has heard of a second dealing and button dealing, although very few persons have seen these sleights performed. In poker, the gambler arranges to get the high cards, of course. Let me show you the usual method. I'll use the 4 kings. As you are talking in this vein, run through the cards with the faces towards yourself, and as you come to each king or ace, slip the kings to the bottom and the aces to the top of the deck. Do this casually without explaining what you're doing. Alright, so we are now in a situation here where we pick up the 4 aces and we have to get our kings in place. Well, where do we want to have the aces? The kings have to go to the bottom. So this is very nice here because this is how routining works. We're now in this situation. We have the situation here, and we have to now get the kings, the aces at the top of the deck and the kings at the bottom of the deck. And now this is entirely up to you to find a solution for this thing. How to do this? How would you do this? Because you're in a situation now where the kings could be everywhere. So I guess I would gather all the kings. All the aces, pick up any package, turn it over, run around, get the king, get the next king. I got 3 kings here, got 4 kings here. Checking my cards, got my 4 aces. Now I have a problem. Now I have the 4 kings here. No, that's not how I would do this. I would place the 4 kings just at the bottom of the deck and go through this. So I have my 4 kings, already 3 kings. Doing the same thing now with the next package. There are no kings. With the next package, there's the king. I got my kings. I got this, I got this, I got this. Right? And I'm done. Give it a false cut. Whatever. This is what I need to know. What I need to do. Now, Hogarth and Broe here, this is really important now, since I decided to spontaneously go into this routine. And maybe I don't go into this trick here. No, but let's go. Let's recap this trick. Is this a situation now where we are in a moment where we use the moment of excitement and entertainment to set up the next stalk, the next trick? It's an arrangement. We have to set up an arrangement. I'm not really satisfied with this because I know how a poker player's picnic works. So I've got the 4 aces here, and people are super excited about it. So what I would like, and if I have them turned around, I'm in the situation I create this super strong image, and now I have to get away from the strong image to do it. While the people are celebrating, but they are celebrating with this image. So they are going to look back to this thing again, and as soon as you take it away, you interrupt this moment. So I wouldn't perform it the way I performed it right now. This is just now me brainstorming, recapping, trying to connect my experience with the trick, with what's happening in the real world. This is just something. This is for you guys have to figure this out yourselves. What's happening out there with people? But from the psychology here, if I would perform the a poker player's picnic, I would not have them in this situation. Where they have the 4 piles, I wouldn't have the 4 aces been on the piles lying. I wouldn't have them turn around. I would have to take them, don't show anybody, and then at the same time show the cards to each other. Now they show each other the aces, and they are like, oh boy, and the aces, and that would be the time when I would find my 4 kings or any other setup. Much more stress-free, much more covered. And the same thing, the same effect. Sorry, I was looking into the wrong camera, right? So, we got currently 12 folks watching. Welcome everybody. I hope you're having a great time, whatever you're doing, listening, looking, watching, practicing cards. My name is OTHMARIUS, and it's fucking awesome to do this, guys, with you. So, take off the 4 kings and show them. Take off the 4 kings and show them. 4 kings make a good hand, you say. So the gambler places the cards he wants on the bottom of the pack. I've been thinking too far. I've been thinking too far. So this is part of the trick. Badly explained here. I don't have it set it up. I picked the 4 aces out, and now I'm in the situation I'm explaining the whole thing. So no worries, forget everything I said. Keep the aces there in this position. It's much better than have them pick it up. We shall suppose it's a 5. The gambler deals 4 cards, but when he deals 1 to himself, he pulls off the bottom card. So do this openly, laying the king face downwards before you. Continue to deal in the same way. Okay, no. Okay, I have to look at this. I have to look this trick up. I don't want to do this right now. This is not what I want to do right now. I can't focus on this. Okay, Addens 869 is building an aircraft right now. Okay. Okay, that's pretty epic, dude. What did you do today? I built an aircraft. What did you do today? I did a live stream on Card Magic. Okay. I'm too lazy to go into this trick right now. Do you forgive me, guys? So let's go back here to the book one more time. Really important here. A routine of card tricks, which may serve one person admirably, may not be nearly so effective in the hands of another. For the personality of a performer has much to do with the entertainment value which is got from the routine. Very important. You gotta find your own material and you gotta make your own choices and you gotta make it work in your hands and you gotta make it work in your performance style. And they're basically, you would need extra courses one-on-one with a performer, stage performer who guides you through the process. If I don't even know if somebody is offering this. If not, if so, and you can afford it, have fun. If not, the only way what you can do is you can imagine what you want to do, you make a choice, you go out, you give it a try, and then you work it out. As you perform the tricks given you in the book, you will find that you enjoy performing some of them more than others, and usually you will get a stronger audience reaction from these tricks. So do more what you love, right? The tricks that you enjoy performing and the effects that you enjoyed watching beforehand are usually the ones that work better for you. Although there are exceptions to the rule. I found things that I really disliked when I first saw them, and when I first gave them a try, I was like, nah, that sucks and stuff. And then it turned out that I worked myself into the material, and then it became pretty successful. More than I would have ever expected. Once again, this is just a matter of experience. This is just a matter of how bad you really want it, you know? The building of a routine is one of the most fascinating aspects of doing magic with cards. The clever performer always considers his tricks from the viewpoint of the audience and strives to make them more and more entertaining. Your talk or patter is an integral part of the routine and should be given as much thought as the mechanics of the trick. In some of the tricks in this book we have sketchily indicated a suitable pattern, but if possible you should contrive your own talk, which will then be in keeping with your personality. You will find that as you perform your tricks you will make assuming or showmanly remarks extemporaneously. I believe that's a very a fancy word for impromptu, for spontaneous. Extemporaneously. Do I have it right now? Extemporaneously. And you should remember these, if you can, as careful as you remember the bits of byplay we have mentioned. Yes, the other day, Richard Bellows did a session on his ambitious card. And there he has this line where he says, "Is this your card?" And then the person replies, yes, "Is this your card?" And the person replies, "Yes." And then he says, "No, this is my card. Get your own deck of cards." And I recall now Richard saying that he just came up with this line at one point, and it worked well, and it became part of his repertoire. And he uses the line always, and he knows how to punctuate this line so that it always causes this moment of cocky amusement, like yeah, or something. And this is what happens. But once again, we're talking about experience here. You got to go out, you got to give it a try, you got to jazz around a little bit. And then you will come up with something spontaneously, extemporaneously, and it works. You got to write this down, you got to remember this, and then you got to build this in. So your talk or patter is an integral part of the routine and should be given as much thought as the mechanics of the trick. See that? All of a sudden there's a new layer. Now it's not just the mechanics. Now it's just not the build, the design of the tricks. Now it's the pattern. That's what you say to the people. It's how you connect the things. Remember the topsy-turvy cards and Tipsy Trick? It is a backup magic spell because Arnold Schwarzenegger took my cards away. Makes sense to the people. It's complete bullshit. It's a funny, crazy story, but that's what it's supposed to be. And it should be very, 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 very clear by now that this is where the emphasis should be when you perform magic in real life performance situations, in a close-up or parlor situation, right? And then the key is, and the challenge is, not to be too stiff, too sticky, too close to your pattern. It's not something that you learn by heart and then you repeat it exactly the same way every time. There might be phrases, punchlines, or things that you might place pretty much in the same realm, in the same times in there. That's just the place of it. But the whole thing, you're interacting with an audience, right? People are going to react. You can't just, say something stiff. You can't be stiff. You just can't, reproduce something that you've learned by heart. You have to just be able to just go with the flow with that. That is also something you got to learn, and this is part of routining. And the better you have routined your tricks, the easier it will be, because everything falls in place kind of automatically. And that's the crazy thing. It's like composing great music, when you hear great music and everything is in place. Take those things out there, and if you are a complete beginner with music, you might be, this is very difficult, and what kind of harmonies are this? But if you have an understanding of music, of harmony, of melody and everything, because you studied it, you learned it, and then you put all those things in place, and then they all fall together and they create this beautiful music, which is just beautiful to listen to. Or this beautiful performance of magic, which is just great to watch, to hear, to experience, to witness, right? So Adens869 asked me how long I've been doing magic, and there's just one question. Not long enough. Not long enough, man. Not long enough. Right, and just what I said, if we go here to the card table, what do they say, Hugard and Bray? In constructing your pattern, which will follow the plot line of your trick. The pattern will follow the plot line of your trick. That's also a very, very important detail. Be careful not to be verbose. Verbose, they say. Do not talk too much also. The student often feels that he must talk interminably, and this becomes boresome. You will know quickly enough if what you are saying is effective. If it is not, rewrite your patter. If you're talking too much and your audience looks unhappy, cut your patter mercilessly. This is almost like stand-up comedy, right? You give it a try, give it a joke, you go out there. It's too much, is it too less? You have to work on this material. Never do too much. never be too stiff, you know. And really, there's a difference between stage and close-up. And just once again, you know, I'm talking here strictly from close-up situation. You are much more in an improvised mode, in a jazzy mode, because you're so close to people, right? And it really gets awkward if you're there and you're going like, now we gotta do it like this, and somebody goes in there and you can't respond to that. You need to respond to that. Of course, the more you try out, the more experience you get, the better your audience management will be, because, you know, there are also hecklers out there who try to, you know, to get into there and to disrupt you, to dominate the group, to dominate the situation. But that's a different talk. It's only by self-criticism that you will perfect and smooth your talk. Smooth your talk, but do not be, which is I added here, do not be pleasing, okay? Do not just do what you think the people want to hear. You know, don't become a shitty YouTuber, right? You're a person. You're a character. You're a magician, you know? Be cocky. Be a little bit, you know, push the people. Don't make it too easy on their side. And then here in this chapter, old classic trick, don't even try performing for your friends and family, because they know you too well. You will not get a proper criticism. You got to go out and give it a try in front of strangers. It's sad but true, and it's very hurting. But if your mommy thinks you're awesome, you know, you're probably not. And there's one more really important thing here, that time of the routines, how long they are, 10 to 15 minutes, Hogarth Broe recommend. And then building a number of routines. Just like we have them in the book here, we got, I don't know, 4 different routines. With a lot of tricks here. In every routine here holds 5 tricks. And this is a lot of material, honestly. This is a lot of freaking material. Now, also what you will find here, for example, and we will go, in the next weeks, we will go much more in detail here. The pinky does it, for example. Do you know the pinky? The pinky does it. It is an effect where the selection of the card comes out in this manner. Let me show you, if I can show you this. So, in this manner, right? You come here and you try to bring the card up, and it's not coming up. You need to rub, and then the card comes up, right? Just rising to the top. Very shitty performed here right now. Anyway, the pinky does it. This is all, and also something where you have to work with the whole group, right? Where you have to take care about angle sensitivity. So this is also something you will take into consideration, or will have to take into consideration. Working with a table, are you working with a larger group? How do you operate in a circle, flatline, one-on-one? All of this, and all of this takes part when you, all of this becomes relevant when you imagine building your routines, because there are tricks that fit really good together if you, even a close-up situation, if you handle them like a little parlor or stage situation. So you gotta basically, you got a more controlled environment compared to a routine that is completely out of control. You don't worry about angle sensitivity or something, and still you want to bring some visual stuff in there. For example, I really like here the good old disappearance of the card, and since I'm a stand-up guy and I'm surrounded, I usually I could never perform this seriously. So what I do is I always try to have a certain angle of my audience, see it like this, so that I make the card disappear behind my head, and then I would go around and say like, and people now think I have this behind my head, but of course they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm playing a funny thing in there, and still I'm creating this beautiful illusion when it comes back. This I like to do with a with a card change or with a top change. So it is the spectator's card is lost in the deck, and I have in the routine or whatever, I have any card, I top change the card, now I have the spectator's card, maybe it's already signed, and they think now it's the king of diamonds, I make it disappear, I make this stupid joke, and it's with behind the ear, now people laugh, still they see this illusion of the card being disappeared, so I showed off the skill, they've seen it, and they remember, they will, and at the end they will say, oh, he made it, the card disappear in his hand, but the key moment then comes, and the illusion comes there and saying, but it's your card, right? Something like this. So you can build up things like this for yourself. Just, does it work for you as a persona? Does it work with your character? How big do you want to play it? You know, and it is really super fun to do this, to come up with your complete unique own set. And this is where really the creativity starts. And at this point also you start making choices. You will have ideas and you have to all write them down. If you start thinking like this and you have these ideas and you go like, oh man, I would like to do it like this, and you will find, and it's probably somebody before you did it already, and then you find a working for this. Maybe it's a gimmick, or maybe it's a really difficult sleight of hand technique. Because I was there, I had the 4 aces, and I said, now this would be amazing to have those 4 aces disappear and then just pick them out of the air. That's what I wanted to do. I found it. Jeff McBride has this thing there, but this is a lot of practice, man. And I'm still practicing it because I want to do it. And at a certain point, I have my ace routines, I do this, and at a certain point, I will be able to do it. And I just can't wait to do this, right? And at this point, then you will become very selective with what you are actually putting into your repertoire, and where you're putting your time and effort and practice, right? Because you don't need 5 different types of double lifts. And hell, do you even need to know the pass? Yeah, there. I have a tutorial on a version for the Pinky Does It, which is one-handed, which looks something like this. Which is much easier. Just like this. And the card comes rising. Whoa! And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is from a magician's point of view completely retarded. How could the people not fall for this? They don't fall for it in a way of that they don't know how it works. But if they really enjoy this illusion, you can also play this from the downside. I've got a tutorial up and running on my channel like this. Wait, where am I? From the downside, it would be. It looks like this. So you use a magic wand. How do I do this? Wait, now I forgot how do I do this with the left hand? From the downside it looks like this, yes. And then the card comes magically rising from the center of the pack. Like this. Right? Because compare this, I've got this also on my channel page. Arenas, you are very new. You start learning magic. Just for you, I'm giving a shout out to myself because the tutorials I got up and running. Currently 13 people watching. This is my channel page here. You will find here all uploads. You will find tricks, performances. You will find tutorials on card tricks, and then you will find here all the moves, every tutorial I did on every sleight of hand move. I've got a tutorial here for bloody beginners, the card magic basics. I call this the pick a card routine. Gets you into spreading cards, holding a deck of cards, like the basic fundamental 3-phase fundamental routine you do all the time. I've got a fundamental and basic tutorial series on the basics of card control. This will teach you every little detail you need to know, how to catch and hold a pinky break and how to control cards with the simplest of means in order to card control. I've got tutorial series here on shuffling cards, on cutting cards, one-handed, the most valuable flourishes, the pass. I got a whole tutorial series on the pass, on double lifts, on forces. It's all out there on my channel. It's all for free. You are very, very welcome. And once again, all of this is going down today thanks to the guys who support me on Patreon. 11 patrons bringing together a brick of playing cards. Guys, you're rocking awesome. You are the OTHMARIUS. Thank you so much. It's amazing. And we meet regularly after this live stream here and on Discord. And you will find the Discord link in the info box of this channel, as well as a affiliated link to this awesome web browser I'm using here the Brave browser, which comes with an inbuilt web blocker and an inbuilt crypto wallet. This is an amazing technology which holds the potential to revolutionize the World Wide Web. I believe that. I'm a huge supporter of this web browser, and give it a try. I'm telling you, this is amazing. Also links in the info box very much at the bottom. So, currently 14 people watching, guys. So, what we are going to do is we are going to next week. Now this is not over here. I'm going to practice a little bit because today we're just doing this for 1 hour and 10 minutes. We are going to, now we had a brief summary of what is important about routining tricks here in this session. We have ahead the first routine here with, now you see it, obliging aces, do as I do, card to in the pocket and 3 cards across. And I try to prepare myself in a manner so that I know these tricks by heart as best as I can. And I just try to, you know, think about why it makes sense to put them together, why Hugard and Brouet did chose these tricks in a row. And we also do this with the table routine, with the poker player's picnic, the good luck card and the poker puzzle, which I was just too lazy to look at. Then we have the roll licking routine with rapid transition, the piano trick, which is also a very nice trick, leapfrog, a vested interest. And then we have a card discovery routine with a tipsy trick, which I just put together with the topsy-turvy cards, the double speller, Pinky does it, and we're going to take a look at the Pinky. Then Pinky does it with the one-handed version, which makes so much more sense. Also a smash finish. And then we have the razzle dazzle routine with the sevens, righting a wrong, the acrobatic aces, a top change by play, and the ambitious card. So we close this chapter with the ambitious card, and then there's only part 3, platform tricks. We will look at a handful more of tricks, and then we're done with the Royal Road to Card Magic, guys. And we did it this year. We walked through the freaking Royal Road to Card Magic, which is amazing. Evil Bunny is in the house. Give me a shout out saying check out the tutorials of the guy. Thank you so much. And that will be it for this year. That will be it for this year, because I will be on the Christmas market selling artworks of my girlfriend every day till the 1st of January. Then we have to pack our stuff there, and we're going to be completely exhausted. And as usual, I will start uploading then about the end of January 2020 with an welcome video summing up 19, taking a look at what we're gonna do in 2020. Yeah, it has been a super productive year so far, guys. What do you think? Violent Weekend writes, the piano trick is a worker and a good intro for when I'm nervous and worried about screwing up my opening. But you will get I got busted very often with the piano trick because I'm performing for smart people, and I have people like bullshit. They just figured it out. But you can give it a try. It's very nice when you open it like this, because then you're in then you're immediately in this kind of gambling situation, you know. Okay, you busted me, but can you bust me with the next one? Crazy Challengers ask for photos of my artwork. I can show you right away. This is our website. It is only available in German right now. There we are. This is our web shop. It is not optimized for international shipping, so don't even give it a try. We have to figure this out for next year. And this is what we do. We do time murals, right? If you want to take a look here, I copy and paste this link in the comments. There you go. Jesus, this shit makes so much fuck. Yeah, I'm super excited about these weekly streams. I've learned so much myself. I had a blast of a time so far. And I'm looking forward to finishing this year properly, but really having walked through every of those routines, recapping those tricks at least at the final, and then you know, making a proper choice what we're gonna do next year. It's still I'm still not made up. I still didn't make up my mind. Is it going to be the expert card technique or the expert at the card table? I don't know. I don't know, guys. What do you want? What do you want? So, peppermint tea with honey, very nice. Healthy OTHMARIUS. So now, I would say, let's go for a little bit of a practice session here together. Since I think I've said everything I wanted to say on this last chapter here. Is there something more I want to share with you? Let me see. Got it here. Yes, this is what I wrote here on top of it when I thought about who do you want to be as a magician? This is what you got to figure out with those routines, with what you with the choices you make. Imagine the magician you want to be. And don't limit yourself. Don't, you know, think about the big stars, you know. Just do it like that. Imagine magic was real for a second. Like really real. We are the gifted ones that have the what do you say? We are called. We are the calling, the called ones. And we connect with the supernatural powers. Who would you be? You know, like a hero type of guy, a warrior type of magician. Would you be a wizard type of guy? Would you you know, grow weeds and herbs? You know, like the healer type of guy. Would you be more mysterious, or would you be like a crazy adventurer, or scientific explorer, or would you build crazy machines to fly through the air? You know, where are your interests? Who would you be? And then just try to call this fantasy into reality. It is like a little bit like role playing. It is really like role playing, and the material here we got here, you know, this is just the first material. This is just like a little bit with cards. Don't limit yourself. Just create this magician that only you can be. Make it up in your mind. Like all the props, everything. Go crazy with it. The one you want to be. Just here's the thing. Now story time. So I'm on this market every weekend selling these artworks of my girlfriend. And there's thousands of people passing by every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I'm doing this for years now. So I've seen a lot of people. Now in 100,000 people passing by, there's one person that is kind of special. Like really doing their own thing. And in 1 million people, there's one person that literally does not give a single fuck anymore what everybody else is thinking. And I happened to just met this guy the other day, and I already knew this guy, and they're usually called freaks, and I hate this to call those people freaks. Because they are not freaks, because they're just free. They just freed their mind from mental slavery, and they just don't give a fuck about all the trends, about all the normies, about everything the society, you know, we live in a society, deems right or wrong. They just don't give a single fuck anymore. And this guy, he would walk like a king, from the, I don't know, 17th century, like, and he was having a plastic, not plastic, gummy. What is this in English, man? Gaia. I just have to rubber. A vulture, a rubber vulture. This guy was having a rubber vulture in his neck, and he would like it, and he called it. He had it a name, and he would say, "What do you say about this?" And he had this rubber vulture, and he was just taking it with him, and it was too much for everybody. Like, people couldn't, you know, imagine this. You have your own pet animal, like your own puppet. You take your puppet or whatever and just talk to it. Just make it your friend. And this guy had the balls to do it. And he was not crazy. He would completely reflect on what I was doing there. He would value the art I was doing. He was even considering buying something. He asked really honest questions that went deeper than most of the people would ever ask. And he was just, you know, having a rubber vulture. And I just had to accept it. I just like, and now I could be the guy who says, "Oh, a crazy person," and treat him like a crazy person. Or could I say, this is actually a magician. This is actually someone who freed himself, and everybody, and all the and who made an effort to make this world really a better place, compared to all those assholes run around that just worry every day about how they make a buck, how they become famous or rich, or not to fall, you know, not to have people talk about them. And I believe magic is an art form, and I believe every art form is just giving you the entrance to its power when you accept yourself. When you stop bullshitting yourself, and when you open up to who you really are. And I'm not saying this as a person who figured this out himself, right? I'm standing, and it's not just one decision. It's not like a revelation, you know, and then you see the great spirit and whatever, and you know it for all the time. It's a constant process. And it's like a labyrinth you're gonna navigate through. But what's the compass? The compass is that you are completely unique, and whatever it is, your soul, your power, your belief, your ideas, your fantasy, and that is your magic. And you gotta get this out there. And this is just the cards, are just the means, just the tools. It's just the tools. And these books, they are just, what do you say? This is just scratching the surface on a much greater journey. Okay, now you got it. Now you know it. I honestly believe this is true. Probably I lost everybody here. No, I currently got 15 people watching. That's amazing. So step by step, discover the magician that only you can be. And here, right now, at the end of the beginner book, the entrance into the world of magic, of card magic, is routining card tricks. I recap. Easy for yourself, easy for your audience. Make it one piece, one little act. Routine it well. And then just give it a try. And then you polish it. And when it's good, when it's well, build another one. And build another one. And then by then you should be on your way. So what we got here in the comments, what are you? You're writing a novel here right now, as I'm speaking a novel. Those are the other two books I've bought so far. I feel expert card taking is more user-friendly. I dig it. First time catching you live. Awesome. So what we got here? Joachim, take a look. Awesome. Okay. Expert card technique. Expert card technique. I dig it. First time. This was a lot of fun. Those are the other 2 books I've bought so far. Lol. Either is fine. There may be some John Tamariz work to eye on. Absolutely. But I'm here. I'm not going. This is all also old school basic stuff. It's public domain, and I'm not going into I wouldn't really go into detail in public here on a Tamariz book or something. This is not ethical, you know. So I'm starting to practice now a little bit, and I welcome everybody to practice a little bit with me after my little preachy thing here. This guy was so funny. So to the table. A little bit of table work. And I guess, by the way, Yoko Man 0581, welcome. I guess we're gonna start that next year with the table series. And by the way, this is what I forgot to say. Everything I've said here right now in this live stream, in all these live streams, is of course my take. Highly subjective. My take on the subject. Do not take this as the final word. Just take this as a inspiration, as an impulse for your own thought process, right? So Crazy Channel said, all right, I'm off to do schoolwork. Thank you for the stream and commitment with them. Really excited to see what comes later. Peace. Peace out, man. Enjoy your schoolwork. Yeah, practicing again. Seven spades, 4 of diamonds, because this is a sick move here. Like, this is the sickest thing for the longest time. This is fucking crazy. Check it out. No, I lost the 4 and that turned it into an ace. How is that even possible? I don't know. It's not supposed to be like... I lost it again, I believe. I keep the 10 of spades, 7 of spades one more time. I can feel it when I lose it. Now I've got it. 4 of clubs and 10 of spades. Now I've lost the bottom. 4 of clubs, 10 of spades. I got it. One more time. 4 of clubs, 10 of spades. Once again, this is such a freaking awesome move. It is absolutely out of control. Lost it. 10 of hearts, 8 of hearts. Are you kidding me? 7 of spades, 8 of hearts. Two of clubs, 8 of hearts. Why? Why? Two of clubs, 8 of hearts. Very nice. Oi, 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 oi. Lost everything. Okay. Two of diamonds. King of spades. 3 times. That's the magic number. 3 times. 2 of diamonds. 8 of hearts. Ah. Come on. 2 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. Two of diamonds, ace of hearts. Don't need the ace, that was the 8. Oh, now I lost everything. No. 6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds. Why? Why the top card? What is wrong with the top card? Understand. So, Adams869 is practicing the SHAL WE cut all day. Very nice. SHAL WE cut. It is the up to the ladder where I always lose control. Is there Richard Beller's live? I don't think so. Nope. So with a little bit of music here, let's go with the beat of the music. It's a little bit faster. It's okay, I dig it. Turn it up in my headphones. Ha ha ha. That was every second card. Now let's try every card. That's gonna be crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Every card from the bottom. And again every second. Who is practicing with me here right now? A little pushing here. I'm pushing myself to the beat of the music. It's stress practicing. It's ugly to watch, but sometimes you gotta push the limit. Oh. What the hell? Oh, I don't want to ruin this deck. I take another deck for this one. These are gonna ruin the cards. And then nice and Tenkai. Oh no, I don't like this one. I gotta change the music here immediately. Okay, what we got it now? Yeah, that's better. See that? Ace goes on the table. Turns into the ace of hearts. But it's the ace of spades, right? Woohoo! My hands are tired. Pathetic! Pathetic! It's crazy. Time flies by practicing. It's absolutely bananas. Little interruption here. Oh, man. Time flies by practicing cards. Are you experiencing the same? I'm just getting started here. I'm super kind today. I've got into the stream like this. Very stressy. I'm very stressy today. Like kind of. What is wrong with me? Practice, practice, practice. All right, kiddos. I had a blast of a time. I hope you had too. Now I practiced a little bit of cards here, a bit of button dealing, second dealing, some laser deals, all these things that show no mercy, that whether you can do it or you can't do it. It's a lot. It's such an extreme, long journey of practice because it's such a micro muscle memory you have to build up. You have to be completely fluent with every motion subconsciously. It takes really a lot of practice. It's crazy, but you don't need to develop high-end super difficult sleight of hand in order to perform decent and great card magic, which should be clear by now in this live stream session. We got it going from the beginning to the end. A railroad of card magic here on this channel, Marius Magic. Music super loud. I had a blast of time tonight. I hope you too, guys. Next week we're going to take a look at the first routine in depth, or maybe two of them, depending on how much time we got, how long it takes. You can do your homework if you want. I'm taking a look at this TRiCKS so that we are all on the same page when we take a look at this. I believe it's really useful to get these to get this practice of routining tricks, even though if these are not the tricks we would necessarily be performing, because everything needs practice in this art form, and routining tricks does too. And then maybe we can do a little challenge or something, coming up with our own routines with tricks from the book. And then you guys explain why you would choose tricks in that combination and what was your thought process, and we can discuss all of this on our Discord channel, which you can enter by a link in the info box of this video. You will find the whole live stream series here on the Road to Card Magic in the playlist with the link in the info cards. Also check out my Patreon site where I explain a little bit who I am and what I'm doing, from where I'm coming into magic. Yeah. You have now the last chance to say goodbye to each other in the chat as usual, and then I'm gonna be out of here, you know. Who's still with me until tonight? We are doing this exactly for 1 hour and 35 minutes. I mean, who needs cigarettes if you can blow so much dust in the fog in the air with a machine like that? And it tastes really delicious. So Akuma Snow is still with us. Have a great night, Akuma. You too. See you hopefully next week. Was watching while he was working. All right. Yeah. Did you also build an airplane? You're welcome, Adams. You're welcome. Check out the Discord. See you there. And then see you next week. Ronald Faber is also still in the house. Have a good one all. Till next time. Leave Smiles is there. Good night, everyone. Nice. Nice. So, yeah, man. 1 airplane in 1 night. I guess that would be a world record. Guys, have fun. Routine your tricks. Whatever you're practicing, practice well. Give it some time and it will come to you. And don't despair on the way. I know exactly how it feels. I've been practicing bottom and second deals for so long now, and even a laser deal. And you see where I am, you know. There's still a lot of work to do, and sometimes it feels like you're just not getting there. But you just gotta keep on moving, right? All right, guys. You know the drill? Take care and be sure, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very, very soon. OTHMARIUS Magic.